Hey guys, how's it going? Episode 4 of The Ones Who Live is now out, and guys, it's the best episode of the series so far. This is an episode that's solely focused on Rick and Michonne. They're the only two characters who appear in this episode, which was very much needed after the fallout, pun intended, that they had in the last episode. Rick finally learns about RJ, which many of us speculated would be the driving force to make him want to leave the CRM despite Jadis's threats, but he shockingly didn't even ask about him, and we'll learn about that in a minute. Even when they discovered that the helicopter they were both on crashed, which would give them a pretty easy out since the CRM would just assume they both died in that crash, Rick still refuses to leave. He's claiming that he needed to fix the CRM from within so that the future generations would be safer. I was kind of shocked to hear this. I was wondering if that's really the direction they were taking with this show, that Rick would decide to stay on his own. And I guess they still might do that, but that's not where this episode leaves off. Michonne calls bullshit on this, which ends up being true as of right now, and we'll talk more about that in a second. Fun little side note, there's a moment where Michonne notices a book in this apartment they're hiding in, where she states that she wanted to be a writer when she was younger, and I can't help but feel this is a reference to the fact that Danai Gurira wrote this episode. So, fun little Easter egg there. It was kind of rough seeing Michonne and Rick fight like this. I mean, when they first met back in the prison, which was 12 years ago, in case you wanted to be reminded of the passage of time, there was some tension between them, but that was because they were strangers and they were really not trustworthy of strangers at that time. But after that, they were usually on the same page, even more so when they got together romantically. So seeing them at odds like this was genuinely heartbreaking. Though I thought it was funny when the automated voice kept updating them on the temperature, and Rick was getting frustrated because they were in the middle of this serious argument and he was just like, "Where is that?" It was just so relatable. I also laughed as they were taking jabs at each other even when they were killing walkers, like when Rick pulls his knife out of the walker's skull and it splashes blood on Michonne and she's like, "Really?" And he just goes, "Sorry." Some nice levity there. I was shocked to learn that Michonne and Nat were in that mall recovering for a full year. I mean, maybe it was mentioned in episode 2, but I don't remember that. I also found the sequence where they were trapped in the stairwell under that chandelier to be quite intense. After all that chaos, Rick and Michonne mend their relationship. And I gotta say that Andrew and Denai have such great chemistry that you as a viewer sometimes you feel you're intruding on genuine intimate moments with them. Rick finally opens up and comes clean about the reason why he wants to stay. He feels like he couldn't live on if Michonne died. And in a matter of speaking, she already did die to him. He admits that he forgot what Carl looked like, and he was dreaming about both of them, and eventually he forgot what Michonne looked like as well, so he moved on. He felt like he could live while being dead inside, so to speak, and he doesn't know if he can go through that twice. If she actually dies, he doesn't know if he could handle that. Andrew Lincoln is phenomenal here. I genuinely caught myself wiping away tears during this monologue. After all that, Rick finally agrees to go back home with her. And this would have been a good place to end the series. But this isn't the last episode, so there's going to be a couple of wrenches that are thrown into this, to be sure. The preview for next week's episode showed someone following them, whether this be Jadis, Thorne, or someone else. Michonne then says, "This can't end with us going home," and I genuinely hope this is misleading marketing or that she ends up changing her mind, because I want a happy ending for these two. I'm a sucker for happy endings, sue me. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for this video, so tell me what you thought of this episode down below. Do you think these two are going to have a happy ending, or is it going to go a more tragic route? Comment below, let me know, like, subscribe, and as always, take care.